Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Brian Kane. I want to discuss the topic of network marketing attrition. I do come from the network marketing background. In 2010, I was doing everything the wrong way. I had a suit and tie on. I was running around in Walmarts and shopping malls. I used to carry this darn video phone around everywhere because I was marketing a specific company back then. And I just could not get around beating my head against the wall, scraping my knees across the broken glass. It wasn't until I started going through lots of personal development, lots of trainings, lots of events, and more specifically learning from people who knew how to market the right way, not just sell the company products and the presentation. I was reading books like Magnetic Sponsoring. I learned how to recruit and sell for the first time using concepts of attraction marketing. I even got to the point where I was featured as a success story in books like The Ultimate Team Building Formula and some others. And what I want to cover is network marketing attrition. What is it? And how do you combat it? How do you actually become a leader out of it? And what it is it's going to be normal that you have someone join your organization and then they quit. Have you ever sponsored that one person and then they quit? Well, don't feel bad. It's perfectly normal. Do not take it to heart, because especially when you're working with larger groups of people, as you become a bigger leader, that same percentage of people are going to quit all the time. It's kind of like filling a leaky bucket, but there's a way around it. Now, what's typical in network marketing is that someone will come into this profession, they'll get excited, and they'll plant their flag for roughly 90 days or so. It might be 60 days, it might be a little bit longer. You might have that one person that comes in and says, hey, thank God I got involved in network marketing, and then the next day God changed his mind and is like, oh, well, God told me to get out. You might have that person too, but it's typical for 90 days someone to get started in network marketing, commit, and then if nothing happens, then they will quit. Now, that's relevant if you have 100 people on your team, 1,000 people on your team, 10,000 people on your team, 90% of your organization quitting because they go into the witness protection plan, and it's you give them a call, they're not around. Well, 90% of your organization, if they quit, that 10,000 person organization could go down to 1,000 to 2,000 people in 60 to 90 days if you do absolutely nothing. So how do the leaders combat this? Well, what they do is they teach you a simple duplicatable system to get 1 or 2 sales or 1 or 2 recruits before you quit, so that way you replace yourself, and now that 10,000 person team doesn't drop down to 1,000, 2,000 after 90 days. What happens is it grows every single month to 12,000, 15,000, and it keeps going because people are replacing themselves faster than they're quitting. And get this, the whole organization is over 90% new because people are still quitting. It's just it doesn't feel like that because people are replacing themselves. What is the way that you can keep someone in your organization for a longer time period than 90 days? And this is when we start getting into leadership concepts and really starting to understand how this profession works. And the best way to do that is just get a darn check in someone's hand as fast as possible. That check could be $1, it could be $12, it could be $30, it could be $500. As long as you get a check in someone's hand, that will build someone's belief system and the training, the opportunity to keep attending events, and also their income producing activities for the day. If they keep doing that, then they will feel that their check will get bigger because their efforts going into this profession will create a residual income. And so this is one of the ways to keep someone around for a long time period. If you don't get a check in someone's hands, they might be passionate, but without the financial income coming in, especially if they're working a job and just struggling to pay the bills, it's a little bit tougher to keep them in. This way, I believe, is actually more powerful and will keep someone around who's not making any money for a longer time period. And when you understand these concepts, you can keep someone around long enough to be able to finally get it, because most people don't get it when they first get started. They have to struggle, and then it clicks for them. And while they're going through this process, the best way that you can keep someone around for a long period of time in an organization where you are building through your warm market, especially because you want someone to know, like, and trust you, it is through recognition. In really awesome network marketing companies, they have this built in. As you start reaching the ranks, then you automatically get the recognition. But if you're a team builder, if there's any way that you can recognize someone for building the team, for instance, thank you for running the event, thank you for going through this conference call, thank you for keeping the process of doing more three-way calls with me. Like, the more recognition that you can give, the more someone will appreciate you and want to stick around you for longer because of you as a person, not necessarily because of the opportunity. And that's very important for helping someone develop as a leader. The other way is to help someone get more skill sets. You want to help them develop their really develop like their skills as a human being, the way that they live, maybe like through the faith, fitness, family, friends, and finances. But as they're getting better, what happens is there becomes a point where it triggers for them, and then they realize that because of this opportunity, they have found their what? They have found their purpose. And when someone finds their purpose and they understand why they're doing something, why they're waking up every single morning, then that person just simply won't quit. They'll do whatever it takes, and you'll find that someone goes from nothing to something very, very quickly. They'll go and actually hit that point where it's like a tipping point, and they'll start getting more results than they've ever gotten in their life. And if you're that type of person that you want that tipping point to happen for you, then I want to show you a process for getting famous in 90 days or less. And I like to use the internet because there is a way of taking a system and funneling someone through a system of building a relationship with you, like know, like, and trust. For instance, you're building a relationship with me, even though I might be at the gym, I might be sleeping right now, I might be like eating lunch right now, I might be doing something else, but emotionally we feel connected because you're watching my video. Well, I have a specific way of how to build a relationship process over the internet and be able to follow up with someone better than you probably could ever follow up with anyone. And what I'm telling you is that's not because that you can't do it. It's just because you might not have implemented a certain system. Once you have a system in place, then there's a process for you to be able to move through larger groups of people and be able to connect with larger groups of people. So when you show up at an event and you give someone a hug, they already know who you are. So I encourage you to go to Outsideyourjob.com. My name is Brian Kane. I'm the CEO of Outsideyourjob.com, and I look forward to seeing you inside the next video.